Okay guys, what's up? Southern Kip here. What I'm going to do here is I'm recording this video offline. I'm not streaming at the moment. As you can tell, there's no like chat or anything going on. In fact, while I'm thinking about it, I probably need to refresh chat, even though I'm not going to be using it during the run. But I just need to do that for later. So basically what I'm doing right now is I'm about to run a specific randomizer seed from the randomizer tournament that two of my friends actually had to race against one another. KarenKonou is a really cool runner, and she won this game. It was game 3, so it was the deciding match. It was match 89809277. That's the randomizer seed. And she beat Maniacal42. Maniacal's a good friend of mine. He hangs out my channel a lot. Really cool guy, great runner. And he ran a 46.50 something, but she ran like a 45.59 or a 46 flat or something like that. And so it was a really interesting seed. A 46 is an incredibly fast randomizer time. And the main reason, like, this is definitely not a free seed, it's still difficult, but the main reason they were able to run so quickly is because a lot of the really strong items were at the start. And so that allowed them to take an optimal path and kind of get through things. So when I ran this last night for the first time, not knowing what where the items were, I ran a 45.08 or something like that. And so today I went back and ran it again, knowing where the items were, just to see how quickly I could do it. And I was able to run like a 38.50 something maybe. And so I decided to run it a few more times to see how far low I could push it. And the reason I like to do it is because this randomizer seed is just, it gives you so many things like right at the very beginning, and it's just fun and very quick. So I figured since I hadn't uploaded anything to my YouTube channel in a while, I would do a run of this and maybe hopefully teach some of you guys a little bit about how the Super Metroid randomizer works and how the tournament works. So as you can see, you start off, for anybody like, I realize that some people that watch my YouTube videos don't necessarily run the game or don't come watch me stream or anything like that. So I'm just going to talk through a little bit of information, and if anybody that watches me stream ever sees this video, then just know I'm giving the basic information. But as you can see, you don't start off in Series Station. The randomizers do a lot of things to make things faster, so you just immediately start on Zebes, which is the planet here, and you go immediately, into the action. The way the randomizer works is that all major items, like, the suits, the beam upgrades, E-tanks, other power-ups like Morphing Ball, Space Jump, they're all randomized at other major item locations. So they're all switched around. You never know where an item's going to be. You'll notice that Morphing Ball was at the vanilla Morphing Ball location, and by vanilla I mean like where it is in the regular vanilla game. But the reason that you see that a lot is because Morphing Ball has to be in the first 2 items, or else you literally can't get through some of the places, because the game expects you, like right there, it expects you to be able to turn into a ball and get through some of that stuff. So anyway, the next item up here would normally be an E-tank, and you're not really supposed to be able to get to it. In the regular game, like that trick I just pulled right there is not, it's not super hard, but it's not super easy. And the game designers did not necessarily design it, where that's the intended way to get the item. But as you can see, I just got Plasma Beam. Plasma Beam is the single strongest weapon in the game in terms of like how much damage it does for a beam. So the fact that I have it this early, like literally in the first 2.5 minutes, means that I'm going to be able to just plow through every single creature in the game for the most part, which is one of the reasons that this seed is so fast. So long story short, what makes one seed fast or another one slow is it depends on where the items are, the major items. And in particular, there are certain major items in these randomizers that are incredibly powerful. So let me talk through those for a second. Also, you'll notice that the minor items are swapped with other minor items. I have 2 power bombs, 2 power bomb packs and 1 super missile pack. and the first 3 minor items, which you would never see that in vanilla. In fact, I'm not even gonna find bombs, like regular bombs, which is a staple of their regular game. I don't know where that item is in this particular seed, but I'm gonna use power bombs to open up a lot of the bomb stuff throughout this seed. So that's why you see me have power bombs. But anyway, so there's 4 kind of major items that are required to finish a seed very fast, I guess would be the best way to put it. The 4 most important progression items are, number 1, the 2 suits. I would say Varia is the most important. Varia's suit is the suit that allows you to not take damage from heated areas like Lower Norfair. And notice that Charge Beam is right here. I'll talk about that in a second. So you really need it if you plan on not collecting just a ton of E-Tanks. You can technically do heated runs, but it's not advised. Number 2 would be Gravity Suit. It's the other suit upgrade. What it does is it allows you to move very quickly through water. So when you get to Meridia, you need to be able to have a Gravity Suit to go fast. Like right here, real quick, I'll show you. I don't have bombs, but I have a power bomb to be able to break those blocks. So Gravity makes you move very quickly through Meridia. So probably the second most important item. Next one up would be Charge Beam, which I just got. Now, a lot of times you don't find Charge Beam until late, or sometimes never. And if you don't have Charge Beam, that means you have to kill Mother Brain at the end with missiles and super missiles. And you would have to have a ton. I think the minimum requirement is like 40 regular missiles and 60 supers. And since you only get them 5 at a time, that would be just tons and tons of item fanfares that you'd have to listen to that are 7 to 8 seconds each. So that's slow. So the fact that I have charge means in this randomizer seed, I don't really have to collect that many miners. I'm going to collect the least amount of miners that I think I can get away with. And in this particular seed, it's going to be 10 regular missiles, 20 super missiles, and 15 power bombs. And the cool thing about this particular seed is that it gives you all of those items, even the minor ones, right at the very beginning. Looks like I forgot to split again. I'll split at Space Jump. I actually need to replace that, I need to replace that split anyway. It's silly when you don't have series. But anyway, it gives you all those things right at the very beginning. So I'll be done with it soon. Now that brings me to my next point. The 4th most important item that you have to have is one of 2 different items. One of them is Speed Booster, which we just picked up. Speed Booster makes you go like, it allows you to gain speed that you normally wouldn't have, but it also allows you to break certain blocks that you wouldn't be able to otherwise. In particular, there's one room in Meridia where you either have to have Speed Booster or Ice Beam to get through the room. If you don't have either, the only other option you have is to do this like really weird crystal flash clip, which is a special trick that not many people know how to do. Even I don't know how to do it. It's just very uncommon. So you need either Speed Booster or Ice Beam. We just picked up Speed Booster, but we're gonna get Ice Beam in this seed as well. So, long story short, this seed, I'm gonna wait until I get out of this room to split, because I meant to jump over it. So anyway, this seed basically just gives you all those things right in a row. So as you can see, I've already got every minor item I'm ever going to collect except one. I'm going to get one more super missile pack, and it's going to be right in my way when I get to the vanilla charge beam location. Oh, I just made a mistake. It's okay though. So normally you would bomb here, but since I have Speed Booster already, I can just break right through those. Another reason why this seed is so quick. Whoops, I didn't mean for that to happen. So this is the last minor item that I will be collecting. And there's wave beam. So that means I can get through any gates that I come across very easily. And it also adds a lot of power to my beam. So the only beam I'm missing at this point that would stack with what I currently have is ice beam. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. And so right now we have a very powerful beam that we'll use to get all the way through Lower Norfair. So let me talk for a second about that. Well, what you're about to see me do here is, in this seed, gravity suit is down here at X-ray, which normally you would not be able to get in here, you know, at the beginning of the game at all. Because number one, you wouldn't have power bombs, and number two, you wouldn't really have a way to get over. The reason I just took damage right there on purpose was to give myself some iframes so I could move a little bit faster and get a good space jump. But anyway, you wouldn't be able to get in here. You would either need gravity or space jump to get across. Technically, there are some tricks you can do to get in here without those two items, but they're very difficult, and you know, you don't see them happen too often by a lot of the runners. But I had space jump, so I got in here very quickly, and as you can see, I found gravity, which is one of our most important items. So at this point, I'm going to head out and start the process of going to... I'm actually going to do something kind of interesting. Hopefully I don't die right here. Okay. I'm actually going to go into Meridia early because I know that Varia suit is at the first Meridia item location. So I'm going to grab it and then head back down to kill Kraid. And then go down to Lower Norfair from there, which I'll explain in just a second. So I'm going up here to grab Spacer's item, and this time it's going to be an E-Tank. I'm grabbing it for two reasons. Number one, it's a good place for me to refill before I start doing some of the more difficult stuff. And number two, you have to have 3 energy tanks to complete the game. So right now we have 2. We're going to need a third one to be able to complete the game. And the reason you need 3 is because when you fight Mother Brain at the end, like the final boss, Mother Brain 2. Hold on, I need to focus right here real quick. This part's actually kind of hard. When you fight Mother Brain 2, after you do enough damage to kill her, she uses what's called the Rainbow Beam. And the Rainbow Beam with Varia suit on will do a minimum of 300 damage. So you have to have at least 3 E-Tanks to survive that. And so we gotta have 3. Right now I have 2. The last one I'm gonna get is gonna be in Lower Norfair at the Firefly location. So here's Varia. Normally you would find Varia behind Kraid. The reason I came up into Meridia first is because I knew I had to get this anyway and I didn't want to have to backtrack. So now that I've got both suits, and especially because I have space jump, I can now basically get into Lower Norfair very easily, but I will also be finding high jump boots after Kraid. So once I find high jump boots, it's basically like complete go mode. I'd be able to finish the game without issue, but then I'll find Ice Beam after Batuing later in Meridia. So, and I'll kind of point these out as I go. I forgot to split at gravity, didn't I? I'm probably going to forget to split most of these. So again, here you see I have to use power bombs to break these blocks because I don't have regular bombs. So let's talk about boss order for a second. So in the original game, the sort of intended boss order that the developers, you know, kind of set you up to do. Hold on, I need to actually focus for a second. Okay. is Kraid, then up to Fantoon, then down to the Water Meridia area to kill Dragon, and then all the way down to Ridley in Lower Norfair. Alright, what I just did is called the Kraid Quick Kill. If you catch him at the right time, you can actually kill him before he stands up, and that saves a lot of time. So here we're going to pick up High Jump Boots. That's my favorite item in the game. Normally they would not be here. Normally Various Suit would be here, but High Jump Boots lets you jump super high, and it's going to make me move a lot faster. And it also is going to make it even easier for me now to get into Lower Norfair. So anyway, where you fight Ridley is literally like the furthest place in the game, essentially away from the final place that you need to go to kill Mother Brain. So if you can do it, if you have the items required to do it, the fastest path that you can possibly take in a randomizer would be to kill Kraid, then all the way down to Ridley. And that way you don't have to like backtrack, like you're already down there and then you just head back up to the other bosses. And so next would be Dragon and Meridia, and then from Meridia you can just go straight up to Wreck Ship where Fantoon is. So Kraid, Ridley, Dragon, Fantoon. That's the path that I'm going to be able to run because this randomizer seed has already, this early on, given me all of the items that are required. The only item that I'm missing at this point, like the only, there are really only 2 times I'm going to listen to a fanfare for the rest of this run. Number 1, when I pick up the E-Tank at Fireflea to get to 3 E-Tanks. And number 2, when I find Ice Beam after Botch Wound. Other than that, I will not be getting any more items, period. No minors or majors. So we're almost done. At under 15 minutes, we're almost done collecting items. Now, I've been messing around with different ideas. Oh, I actually need to focus here. Hold on. I think that's too low. Yeah, too low. Normally I can get a D-boost right there. The first time I ran this, I got Fireflea E-Tank after I killed Ridley. The time I did it a minute ago, off stream, I got the Fireflea E-Tank before I fought Ridley because I was running low on health and it would just save on farming. So I'm not sure though, I don't think I've come down here with 99 health before. So let's just kind of see how it goes. One thing that's going to affect my speed is whether I get this trick or not. It doesn't look like I got it. Oh, I did get it. That's called Fast Pillars. It's not the easiest trick to do. It's not that bad though. There are faster ways to get up here, but without Ice Beam, I don't really have one that's consistent. So that's definitely an area where if I wanted to optimize this run for my skill set, I'd have to go back and figure something out. See, like right now, I have to make a decision. I think this time I'm gonna elect not to get it. And I'm just gonna kind of risk it for the biscuit, as they say. I'm gonna still try to not farm. But there's a real, like a very real possibility that I could die either on the way or at Ridley. So, but I'm gonna push it. Technically, this would be more optimal than getting it beforehand if I could pull it off. I use the iframes there to get through that guy. Gonna K-go through that. It's a technique where you fall through platforms or certain other things. I'm gonna try to get the speed kill on this first guy, and then I'm gonna use supers on this guy because it's just easier for me personally. And then this is not gonna be quite as fast, but if I do it right, I can avoid getting hit. I could run through the lava and save a couple seconds, but I wanted to save as much health as possible because fighting Ridley with this much health is not that dangerous, but but I could definitely die. So 15 supers will get halfway, like, it'll be exactly halfway through Ridley's health. So I'm going to start off doing a strat that I use for RBO. And now I'm going to spend the rest of this fight firing these plasma shots. And I actually don't know how many I have to hit him with. So far, this fight's been really good. Oh, that was a really good fight. I wasn't for sure if I could jump into him. He has to grab you for the fight to end, or usually will. Spring Ball is actually behind that door over there. But, I'm not gonna get it. But yeah, that was a really good fight, actually. Like, really good. I wasn't for sure that I'd be able to jump into his claw right there, but I just kind of guessed. It kind of felt like he was getting pretty low. And that got really lucky. Like, I might run this... If I ran this 50 more times, I'm not sure I'd get a fight that good. Here, I'm actually going to kill these guys and then try to use the... There we go. So here, I don't have to worry so much about taking damage. Unless I just royally screw up, the most damage I could probably take would be 150. And even that's unlikely. But I would survive if that happens, so... Okay. There's 50 of it. Yeah, okay. So now I'm going to grab this Firefleet E-Tank. And we're going to be only one major item collection away from being done with items. Probably wouldn't hurt me to pick up these, well, I only got one, and I took damage that I shouldn't have taken. Also, now I can't really see what I'm doing. Alright, we're good. So this is definitely a better run than I had earlier this morning. Plasma Beam allows you to basically clip through those key hunters. So you'll notice that I shot them as I ran through them, and with Plasma, it allows me to give them enough, I guess, iframes or something. I don't know how to explain it. But it allows me to get through them without getting hit. It's the only beam that allows you to do that to those particular creatures. So that's another reason why the seed is so quick, and how you can manage Lower Norfair so easily is because you already have Plasma Beam and you're not in danger of taking damage from those guys. And those guys do a ton of damage. And in most randomizers, you'll have a lot more than 3 E-Tanks because you just come across so many. And a lot of times you want to collect more in a randomizer than you normally would in a regular run because you don't know, what items you'll have in given situations, and sometimes you just need more health to get through certain things. So anyway, long story short, here we are. We're now making our way up into Meridia. We'll head over to Dragon, and then once we're done with Dragon, we'll backtrack just a little bit back up to the surface. And basically when we're done with Dragon, or excuse me, Fantoon after that, we'll basically just be heading straight to Torian. And won't have to go very far on the map. So, unless I screw up somehow majorly or die to Mother Brain, because I don't think I'll die. Well, I could die at Dragon, technically. I wouldn't call it overly likely, but it's certainly a possibility. The only place that I'm really in super jeopardy of dying would be Mother Brain 2. Got a 1-round botch one in there. I'm going to go ahead and collect the items because I want to stay as healthy and healthy in terms of both health but also missiles as possible. There's Ice Beam. So that's the last item that we're going to collect. It's going to allow us to not only do a little bit more damage, not too much, but just a little bit, but it's also going to allow us to get the it's also going to allow us to get the Zeb skip and kill the Metroids significantly faster. I'm gonna go for... Nah, I didn't even come close. I was just gonna go ahead and go for the full halfie, simply because I can space jump through here pretty fast. I wouldn't have really saved that much time by doing the regular halfie. And so I'm just gonna space jump through here, save my health. And that way we don't have any accidents here on Dragon. That was pretty good. I'm sure better players could go faster, but that was pretty good for me. Alright, so I forgot to split. You know what? I'm just not even gonna worry about splits right now. I'll erase that one here in just a second. And then I'll split when we leave Fantoon, but other than that, I'm just not gonna worry about it too much. I would like to have one more super, because I need 2 to open green doors in wreck ship, and then I need 1 more to open the ball store, possibly. I was hoping he might drop one, but he didn't. I probably should have thought about that in advance. I should have just used regular missiles on all the turrets, but it doesn't really matter that much. I can actually farm a couple of these bugs up here on the way out of Meridia, and I'm likely to get at least 1 or 2 super drops there. But yeah, this is a really good time so far for me personally. This is definitely better than the run I had earlier. Okay, so we got the 3rd super. Actually, I actually need another one. Oh well. It's fine. It's not a big deal. I'll just open the ball store with regular missiles. I have to have 2 supers because there's 2 green doors and they can't open anything but supers. And again, I'm just kind of talking through a lot of this stuff because there could be people watching this video that don't normally play this game, since I'm putting this on YouTube as opposed to Twitch. So here, I'm just going to space jump all the way across if I can. If I can get the jumps correct. Alright, so I gotta make sure that I don't miss this next super shot, because if I miss, then it's gonna take me forever to farm one. So I need to be like really careful that I don't accidentally fire it off into the middle of the nether. Okay, we're good. So normally I would want to use one super missile here to open that door. But instead I'm just going to use 3 missiles. To kill Phantoon, let's see, my charge shots do 900 damage, so I'm going to do 2 of them. That'll be 18, so I need, I think, 7 more missiles because Phantoon has 2,500 health. So he's going to start off with a slow. The interesting... Wait a minute, that's not right. Well, okay. Every other time he started with a... He started with a left slow. So I don't know what he's going to do here. I would assume this would be another slow. Never mind. Alright, so we did exactly enough damage to kill him. I hit him with 7 missiles, 7 regular missiles between the 2 rounds, and 2 of those charge shots. Ice, Plasma, and Wave stack, so all 3 of the beams are being utilized at the moment, and all... Sweet. At least I got some supers. I need more. Here, I'll try to explain. But anyway, the beams, for anybody who's not aware, oh, lucky. We just got really lucky right there. The beams stack, and if you have Ice Wave and Plasma, one shot will do 300 damage. Any charge shot will triple the damage of the beams. Alright, let me get this real quick. Sorry that my phone's going nuts right now. Put it on vibrate. Sorry about that. So anyway, they do 900 damage. So we hit Phantoon twice with charge shots, so that's 1,800 damage, and then we hit him with 7 regular missiles, which is 700, so 18 plus 7, 2,500, which is exactly how much health he has, so we were able to 2-round him. That's bad. But here's the tough part. I actually could end up soft blocking right here. I need to have 2 things happen down here. Number 1, I don't think I've really ever been in this position before. I need to, A, make sure that none of the Metroids grab me. Ooh, lucky. Sometimes these guys will drop super missiles. Okay, this is another reason why I went ahead and opened this door earlier, so I wouldn't have to waste a super there to get in. But anyway, long story short, if a Metroid grabs you, the only way to get him off is to use a regular bomb and then freeze him with Ice Beam and kill him again. You have to freeze him and then shoot him with either a super or 5 regular missiles. I don't have bombs. The only way to kill them if they've grabbed onto you, if you don't have bombs, is to lay 3 power bombs, and it takes a long time. So anyway, I need to focus here, and I need to manage my missile counts. Luckily, getting good drops so far. Alright, I'm going to start using some regular missiles. I got to get to 10 supers. Actually, I need to get to like 12, I think, or 13. Before I get to Mother Brain, or before I get to the baby. So I'm going a little bit slower because I'm having to be really careful about the ammo. Like, I've got to get several super drops right here. They didn't drop a single one. All right, let me think about this. That's actually incredibly unlikely and very, very unfortunate. Like, very unfortunate. All right, I have 3 doors that I have to open to get into Mother Brain. If I open the first one with regular missiles, alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take damage. I'm not even going to attempt the baby skip, because I'm going to have to open the first door with regular missiles and then refill. That'll put me back at 10. Then I'm going to open the boss door and the other red door before Mother Brain with a super. That leaves me with 9 supers and 10 regular missiles. 6 regular missiles break the glass. I can use 3 more. I literally have have exactly enough missiles and supers. I guess I have one extra missile, but that extra missile actually won't even do anything. So I have to hit basically every shot on Mother Brain. One. If I don't, I soft lock. What a bummer, dude. Alright. Here we go. That's really bad. There we go. Okay. Also got to be mindful of my health here. Okay. Phew. That's 10. 12. At 16, she's gonna catch up. If that hit me, I would die for sure. I'm probably gonna have to dodge one more. And that should do it. 20 charged shots kills her. Or it gets her into her next phase. So I'm about to take the rainbow damage now. Which will do exactly 300 damage. So I should have 62 health left. And that's gonna trigger the cutscene. So anyway, it looks like we're going to be able to finish, and it looks like I definitely will PB. I think I can finish this faster than the 38:40 or 38:50 I ran earlier. Still a lot of things that I wish I could go back and do a little bit faster, but overall this was pretty good. I'm just really glad that I didn't soft lock. I could have saved another 30 seconds or so if I could have gotten better super drops and then gotten the baby skip, but I'll go back and run this seed a few more times for fun and see if I can get everything to line up eventually. So this is one of the most iconic moments in really video game history, but especially retro video game history. Anybody who's played all of the Metroid games kind of knows the backstory about what's happening here. Alright, let's kill Mother Brain 3 with the Rainbow Beam. And let's escape. I definitely cannot get a 37 this time. But I can get a low 38, I think. This should be a PB. Unless I do something really weird here at the end. So I'm going to try to use the iframes that I got from getting hit right there to get through that guy. And we're going to use the speed booster to get one final spark here at the end. Go significantly faster on the climb for the escape. My guess would be a 38, like 12 or something like that. just depending on how I manage the last couple rooms and how lucky I get with Steam. Didn't get Steam lucky. 38-13, not too bad. Not too shabby. Okay, so I'm gonna let this run at least to see the in-game time completion. I bet it's gonna be like a 20. I don't know, 27? 25? Honestly, I have no idea. $26. Okay, so that's it, guys. That's the infamous seed there. It was really cool. I feel bad that Karen and Maniacal had to run against one another in this seed, and to be honest, this is not the kind of seed that I would want to see in a randomizer, just because, like, so many of your decisions, I guess let's put it this way, this kind of seed helps people that are very familiar with any percent, and so the better you are at any percent, the better you will be at this seed, because you don't really have to make any macro decisions. All of the major items come so early that you just can basically just run through the game as fast as possible. And I like playing randomizers where you have to think a little bit more about your pathing and stuff. But it's still a really interesting seed. Hope you enjoyed the run. I'll do it again at some point. If I ever record one that's faster than this, I'll upload it to YouTube. But basically, I just wanted to have something to upload to YouTube since I haven't uploaded in a while. This is not an official regular run, but I hope you enjoyed it. Y'all take it easy.